Colorado is known for its beauty, great weather, four seasons, things to do year round. But honestly, where do you live? I mean, there's so many places to live up and down the I-25 corridor that it is very hard to choose, especially if you're not from here and especially if you have kiddos. Most people who are looking for a place to live with their kids, they are concerned about, obviously the school districts, the neighborhoods, the safety, all of that good stuff. So that's what today I'm going to be talking to you about. As always, please reach out to me anytime. I am local. I am here to help you at any time. Anything regarding Colorado. All right, we're just going to jump right in and we're just going to start with Highlands Ranch. So Highlands Ranch is going to be highly ranked for great places to live with families. It is going to be southwest of Denver, roughly 30 minutes, and it's roughly about 13 square miles. So it started off back in the late 80s, early 90s, kind of as just like a neighborhood, which it kind of started and it just evolved and blew up into what it is today as being a very large suburb of Denver. Honestly, it is known for being a soccer mom. I mean, that's just Highlands Ranch means soccer mom. Just kidding, kinda. Most people kind of use that as a joke because you kind of are in this little bubble down in Highlands Ranch, and most people just love it for a variety of reasons. Starting off, it's in Douglas County. So Douglas County is highly ranked for its school system down there. In fact, they are ranked, according to niche.com, roughly second or third, depending on when you're looking, in the state of Colorado. Highly ranked school district as far as sports when it comes to academics, sports. Douglas County is top notch. It really, really is. Highlands Ranch is also a great area for outdoor activities. So people who love to be outside, families who love to be at the park or riding their bikes. There's so many things to do in Highlands Ranch, and that's why people really do like it down there. A lot of open spaces. In fact, there's 900 acres of open spaces in Highlands Ranch or surrounding Highlands Ranch. You also have really close to Highlands Ranch, if not inside of it, is going to be Roxborough State Park, as well as Chatfield Reservoir, which is roughly Littleton, but it's very close to Highlands Ranch as well. If you're somebody who loves to go up to the mountains, man, Highlands Ranch is located right off of C470. You just take C470 west, you're gonna hit right into I-70. It'll take you straight up to the mountains. So if you're a skier, hiker, fisher, rock climber, whatever, you're able to get up to the mountains at any time. So that's why people really do love this area. You're also very close to the Denver Tech Center, which is a huge hub for so many businesses and jobs. You also have the light rail right there. You go hop right onto the light rail and it'll head down to Denver, straight shot. So it is really, really great area for people who, want kind of a whole variety of things. The average house in Highlands Ranch is going to be a little bit higher than some of the other areas. I'm not going to lie about that. You're roughly about $750,000 for, maybe 2,200 square feet house, roughly built in, the 2000s-ish or newer, of course. But overall, that's why people just love it. You have so many activities. You have recreation, events, YMCA. There's just so much going on in Highlands Ranch. And what I also like as far as the amenities and conveniences are concerned, you're going to be really close to so much dining, so much shopping. You have the Park Meadows Mall within minutes of Highlands Ranch, so you're going to have that as well. There is so many healthcare is huge down in this area. Highlands Ranch is definitely going to be top on my list if you have a family moving to Colorado. So Erie is going to be the complete opposite side of Highlands Ranch. So you're going to be north, roughly about 30 minutes of Denver. And this is going to be one of my most favorite areas, mainly just because I live there. I mean, I've lived up and down the I-25 corridor my entire life, many different places in Colorado, but Erie, it's kind of special, honestly. The reason why people are moving to Erie with families is because it's very family driven, but it still has that kind of rural feel, small town feel. So like I said, it is going to be roughly about 20 minutes north of Denver, but you're only about 25 minutes east of Boulder. So whether you work in Boulder or if you work in Denver, it's very convenient. We are going to be in both Boulder County and Bell County. So depending on what side of the street you're going to be on, is going to depend on the county as well. So that also takes into account the school systems too. You're either going to be in St. Vrain or you're going to be in Boulder Valley. So it's just going to depend. Both are highly ranked. Boulder is actually going to be the #1 ranked in the state. St. Vrain is roughly 4 or 5 according to niche.com. So you are going to still have high ranked schoolings in here. It's going to have that small town feel, like I said. So you're going to have that like downtown area where you're going to have a bunch of the festivals, the farmers markets. You have a couple breweries, some great restaurants, ice cream shop, coffee shops. All of that good stuff is going to take place right there in downtown Erie. The outdoor activities here in Erie are fantastic too. So if you have kiddos who like to ride their bikes, we have a single track out here. We also have a bump course out by the Erie Rec Center, which is really cool. That's new to Erie. So that's great. We also have a disc golf as well as a normal golf course at Colorado National, which is where the Boulder CU Buffs play or practice. So that's pretty cool too. It is going to be quite a bit smaller, like I said. So we're roughly only about 33,000 people who live in Erie, but it is going to be one of the fastest growing cities or suburbs of Denver right now. So people are just naturally gravitating up to Erie. It was finally made its mark on the map, which is fantastic. Average house price out here as well is going to be roughly about $750,000. So it's going to be kind of the same as Highlands Ranch, but you know, it's going to be a completely different feel from Highlands Ranch. It is 100% different. Highlands Ranch is going to be much larger. Erie is going to be a lot smaller, but you do have a lot of those other small cities around Erie that kind of make up and give it that vibe that it actually has. Now, that being said, I'm going to roll right into the next one, which is Louisville. And Louisville is going to be one of the more expensive areas that people are going to in Colorado, but it's over and over and over again, year after year, is continually being ranked as one of the best places to live in the United States. And it's Louisville. And Louisville is going to be just maybe 10-15 minutes of Erie, and it's just outside of Boulder. So that's another reason why people naturally gravitate towards this area, especially if they can afford it, because you're going to be really close to that Boulder proper area, but you still get the vibe of all of these other small towns around it. So Louisville on average is going to be, roughly about $900,000 price point. So yes, it is going to be a little bit more expensive, but you get what you pay for, right? So you get that small town vibe, you get that small town feel, just like Erie offers, but you're close to Boulder. You are actually in the Boulder Valley School District. So that's why people really want to be in this area, because it's the best school district in Colorado. In fact, you have, you know, when you go there, you just kind of have this Louisville, this just charm. It's continually ranked one of the safest cities in the United States, according to niche.com. So you do get a lot of bang for your buck when you live there. The views are phenomenal. So that's another reason why people live there. The outdoor activities, you love to hike, bike, fish, any of that kind of stuff. I mean, you have the Flatirons Mountains or foothills right there. So, I mean, you could see them, you could get to them at any time. You could ride your bike over there actually at any time. So you do have a lot to offer when it comes to Louisville, and that's why people just naturally go there. Yeah, it's expensive. I'm not going to lie about that. And for what you can get in Erie, in Erie compared to Louisville, as far as size of house, is going to be, I mean, in Louisville, your $900,000 is roughly going to be maybe 2,000 square feet built in the 80s or 90s, compared to that same price point over in Erie, which is going to be a lot newer of a home. So keep that in mind, but there is a reason why people live in Louisville. So that's another one that I think you should highly consider if you're moving to Colorado. Right, so heading back down south, more southeast, is going to be Parker. And I absolutely love Parker. It's one of my favorites outside of Erie, and it's going to be southeast of Denver, roughly about 30 minutes or so. The reason why I like Parker so much is, one, it's convenience to Denver, but it's also convenience to DIA, so Denver International Airport, and Castle Rock. So if you need to get to the airport pretty quickly, you could hop on E470, you'll get to DIA with roughly 25, 30 minutes or so. But Denver, if you work in Denver or the Tech Center or even Castle Rock, those are all within 25, 30 minutes. So it is a great location. The reason I also love this area is it's beauty. And I do find this ironic, especially in Colorado, because it's east, right? And most of the time, eastern Colorado is going to be plains, very flat. And Parker is an exception to that rule. So it's known for as the tree city. So there's pinery all over Parker, and there's rolling hills. So while you don't have the view of the mountains, you have rolling hills all over Parker. And this is why I absolutely love it, is that it's still so beautiful. It's not flat. It kind of feels like you're actually in the mountains, but you're like an hour and a half outside of the mountains. So that is something that I absolutely love. And it also still keeps its small town charm while it's still rapidly growing. In fact, it is growing just like Erie's growing. People are gravitating towards this area because of the cost of living. So roughly, it's going to be, for a house out in Parker, it's going to be roughly $650,000. It's going to be right around where you're going to be. So it's really well priced, but it's still so, the vibe of it is still so, small town, but it is quite a bit bigger than Erie. So you're going to be roughly about 66,000 people. So it is going to be bigger, but it still has that small, that main strip of downtown Parker. So you're going to have that. You have, the Performing Arts Center out there. You have year-round activities out there as far as ice skating, swimming. You have fishing. They're known for horseback riding. So if you own a horse or you love to ride horses, go to Parker, live out in Parker. If your kiddos love that kind of stuff, Parker is going to be a great area for you to live because of all the open spaces, all the open trails. You're going to have a lot of that out there. So these schools out in Parker are going to be Douglas County, just like Highlands Ranch. So it is going to be highly ranked, which is another awesome thing about Parker, because if your kiddos are into sports, Douglas County, honestly, that's really what they're known for, is all of their sports. So that's a great area to live in. If you need to go to Castle Rock, like I said, Castle Rock is only 20 minutes away. And Castle Rock is quite a bit more expensive than Parker. So even if you could live in Parker, but maybe you work or you want to go to Castle Rock quite a bit for shopping or anything like that, it's only 20 minutes away, and you still get the beauty of the drive going out there. And this is just another reason why I think Parker is just a great place. Now, I will say it is going to be quite a bit farther from the mountains, like I said. So just to get to the foothills, to go I-70, to go up skiing or whatever it might be, you're probably looking at 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, just to get to that part. And then you have another hour plus to get to wherever you want to go as far as the resorts or camping spots or whatever. So do kind of keep that in mind. So if the outdoor lifestyle when it comes to skiing and camping and all that good stuff, if that's not really your vibe, then Parker is going to be a really great spot, because you still have all of the other stuff, the paths, the horseback riding, all of that, but you're not going to be that close to the mountains. All right, now Broomfield is going to be kind of in the center of all the other ones that I've already talked about. It's going to be roughly, depending on what part of Broomfield you're in, roughly about 20 minutes or so from Denver, and the same to Boulder as well. So you're going to be kind of in the center, and it's going to be the largest city that I'm going to talk about. It's roughly 33 square miles, roughly 75,000 people who live there, and it's very spread out. So sometimes when you're driving, you might feel like you're in Westminster, but you're actually still in Broomfield, just because of how it's kind of spread out throughout the city. Why I love Broomfield is its proximity to really everything. It is still growing like crazy. Like I said, it is one of the biggest ones, but you still have so much growth and space within Broomfield. It is one of the more spread out, more definitely suburbia. You don't have that small town feel like Erie, Louisville, or Parker. It's going to be a little bit more of a vibe of Highlands Ranch, but bigger. So when you think of suburbia, most people are going to probably think about Broomfield. So Broomfield's average price point is going to be roughly about $750,000, depending on where you're at. And there's still a lot of new builds going in Broomfield. You're going to have a lot of townhomes, Apartments are going up like crazy in Broomfield. You do have a lot of, custom homes. You do have a lot of older homes, newer homes. I mean, like I said, it's very big. It's very spread out. Broomfield is also very well known for its views because of its proximity to Boulder. You're going to see the views pretty much wherever you're at in Broomfield. So if that's something that you're really wanting to have is, a house with a view or maybe on a golf course, while all of them are going to have some sort of glimpse of that, Broomfield is really prime location for that kind of thing. Now, as far as schools are concerned, there's a variety, because it is so big, it's a variety of different school districts. You're going to be part of, Broomfield. They do have their own school district, as well as Boulder Valley, as well as Adams 12 5-star. So depending on which area of Broomfield you're in, it's going to dictate which area you're going to have your kiddos in. So, kind of think that through depending on where you're at. Now, I will say, while all of them are ranked great, Adams 12 5-star is going to be a lot lower on the list compared to Boulder Valley and even the Broomfield one. So you could always open enroll your kiddos depending on what house you end up going with or what area. You could always open enroll your kids if you want them to go into a different school or a school district. Now, Broomfield is very well known for a lot of employment opportunities as well. So if you're somebody who works at, like tech or hospitality or anything like that, you have Ball Aerospace, you have SCL Healthcare, you also have, say, Crocs or Vail Resorts. Those are all big companies that take place in the Broomfield area. You have a lot of dining, shopping, the major stuff like the Costco, the Target, the Walmarts, all of that good stuff does happen within the Broomfield area. A lot of outdoor activities too, just like all of them. I mean, we're Colorado, so you're not going to be limited on any sort of outdoor activities. There is a lot of paths, open space, hiking, fishing, biking, all of that good stuff takes place in Broomfield as well. And you're able to connect, especially with trails, into all different areas within Broomfield. It'll get you all the way into Boulder or even to Denver for that matter. So there's really no reason why you couldn't ride your bike to work or take a picnic ride with your kids anywhere in Broomfield. So overall, I think these 5 areas are great for families. Like I said, I'm from Colorado. I've lived in so many different areas of Colorado, and these are my top picks that I truly think that if you're going to bring a kid or you have a family and you're bringing them to Colorado or you're wanting to move within the different area within the Denver metro area, these are the top areas I think you should highly consider based off of schools, safety, environment, neighborhoods, all of that good stuff. Please reach out to me anytime if you do have questions. I'd be more than happy to help you. And then to the next video, take care.